They say that during medieval times, the way to know when a king was becoming a tyrant was when he would cut out the tongue of the jester, such as what we are seeing today out of the Walt Disney Company. No, they're not a monarchy, but they are the largest entertainment company on the planet. And they are shutting down the comments for their latest box office disaster in the making, The Lion King. But today, in this video, we will show you the plan that they have to twist this, to turn this. And folks, I'm here to tell you it's ingenious until we expose it for what it is. Hello folks, welcome back to the Pro Channel, the place where you can go to find out what's happening in entertainment. We explain it. We keep you ahead of the culture curve. Folks, if you would not mind, click the like button. It is May 4th, and I want to show you very quickly. This was at the White House earlier on Friday. Here it is, a press conference. Take a look, there is AJP coming out.
Happy Friday. Don't say things don't get exciting in here sometimes. There's no introduction that really is needed here. I have a special guest, as you can see. Mark Hamill has decided to join.
Now, folks, why are we talking about this in a video dedicated to Mufasa? I'm going to show you in just a second. Don't go anywhere. I want you to see this. I want you to understand what is happening with the Disney company and why they have driven away so many of their fans. Pay close attention.
Join us on this wonderful Friday, and I am really excited to turn it over to Mr. Hamill. Here we go.
Okay, how many of you had Mark Hamill will lead the press briefing on your bingo card? Hands? Yeah, me either. And look, I just got to meet the president. He gave me these aviator glasses. Oh, yeah. I love the merch. Love it all. But listen, I just wanted to say I was honored to be asked to come to the White House to meet.
Now, folks, what you might not see in this, because we're not going to play it to, forever, is that Mark Hamill calls President Joe Biden Joby-Wan Kenobi, using Star Wars lingo right ahead of May the 4th. Now, why is that important? Because whether or not Disney sanctioned such a thing, it puts Disney back squarely in the lens of partisanship. We're going to have a video coming out tomorrow morning where we're going to talk about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and the torrent of negative reactions hitting him in the press after he declared that he's not going to endorse a political party for this presidential election. And he is taking huge PR hits, tremendously damaging to Disney. And so what do we get? Well, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, comes up onto the podium, something you would never, ever, 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 let me keep going, ever, ever see if the other political party was in power. Disney would never do that, and neither would their stars. And I'm not suggesting that Disney sanctioned it once again, but take a look at this article out of That Park Place, the website that if you're not yet bookmarked, well, you should be. John Trent, the author here, came out 2 days ago, but I'm going to update you on it. The Walt Disney Company turns off comments for Mufasa, the Lion King, after massive backlash. The Walt Disney Company turned off the comments for its latest trailer for Mufasa, the Lion King, as numerous individuals shared their dislike of the trailer and the upcoming film. Now, this article shows that it had just shy of 6.2 million views, 237,000 dislikes, 107,000 likes. But what's the update, folks? Well, let's go here and let's take a look. Wowza, nearing 300,000. And so this is quickly getting on the way of being a 3-to-1 negative to positive reaction, a ratio to Mufasa, the Lion King. Now, this has Disney freaked out, according to people that I have spoken to. And why? Well, because this is demonstrating that this is going far beyond just the properties that Disney had anticipated having trouble with. So, for example, Inside Out 2 with anxiety, that's sort of a problematic thing. It's difficult to merchandise that to kids. But going beyond that, right? So we know that Disney is struggling with Star Wars. Disney knows it's struggling with Star Wars. We're going to have more reporting on that about just how much they know about it. We also have trouble with Marvel, and they know that. There are so many areas of Disney that they know they have problems with. But one area that they did not anticipate having trouble with was Mufasa the Lion King. It's the Lion King. It's one of their most robustly popular franchises they have. If this thing is getting ratioed 3-to-1, what's to stop Toy Story? And if the studios fail, folks, as I have been told by someone who works in the consumer products division of Disney, If the studios fail, the entire engine collapses. Why? Because without new stuff to drive people, then nobody wants to buy new products. Nobody wants to license new products with Disney. Nobody wants to go to the parks for some new ride related to some new IP that's working. If Lion King can't drive people there, then they are truly terrified. But they have come up with a plan on how they're going to flip the script on this and try to get out from under it. Let me show you the strategy that Disney is going with. This is out of Deadline by Armando Tinoco. Mufasa the Lion King director Barry Jenkins responds to criticism over Disney prequel. Now, I want you to remember, let's go back again. What's the real story? Okay, this is how let me show you how it's being played. What's the real story here? Everybody pay attention. Mufasa the Lion King teaser trailer. The real story is it is being almost now 3-to-1 ratioed, negative to positive. The real story is that this is a property that surely nobody anticipated this was going to happen. The real story is that Disney turned off the comments. Why did they turn off the comments? Because the comments were actually damaging the company. And that means that something that they put out that they believed would build interest and build the potentiality of the product, that it was actually hurting them. Much in the same vein, by the way, as when they released that Star Wars Hotel trailer. Remember that? Now, they completely removed that. They really can't with this. I mean, this is going to theaters, so they really can't do that. They can't remove it. That trailer is going to be seen in previews, and it's probably already dedicated to doing that. So they can't pull it, but they can stop the comments because it's that bad, and it's feeding into a negative feedback loop for them, right? People are more likely to be negative if they see that the vast majority of people are being negative. So here's what they've decided to do. Let me show you. Out of the Deadline article, and folks, there are tons of these articles all over the place. Barry Jenkins, now he's the director, by the way, and Barry Jenkins is not known for anything, basically. Barry Jenkins, I mean, some people know him. He's artsy-fartsy kind of stuff at best. I could show you the IMDb page, but you can go look it up, and you're going to find a lot of 5.5 and 6.0 rated kind of stuff. And he's had one hit in the past 10 years, really. You know, and there are people who love Barry Jenkins stuff, but I can find people who love Garbage Pail Kids too. And that doesn't mean that it's great. Now, I'm not putting Barry Jenkins on that same level. I'm just suggesting that just because you have fans doesn't mean that in the grand scheme of things, you're the person with the plan to take something across the finish line. Mufasa, Barry Jenkins, this is no Jon Favreau kind of situation. But here's what they've decided to do. Rather than focus on the dislikes, rather than focus on Disney needing to remove the comments, here's what it says. One social media user on X, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, said Jenkins was too good and talented for this Iger's soulless machine. Jenkins replies, there is nothing soulless about The Lion King. For decades, children have sat in theaters all over the world, experiencing collective grief for the first time, engaging Shakespeare for the first time, across aisles in myriad languages, a most potent vessel for communal empathy. That is Barry Jenkins doing his best to offload and gaslight. No, folks, it's not that the trailer sucks. It's not that people are watching it and going, boring. No. It is that he is so good and amazing that people have this expectation, surely you will not go work with Disney. And he responds, I believe in Disney. That's what they want you to believe. And this is genius, by the way. Look at this. Barry, you're too good and talented for Iger's soulless machine. Let's keep going. Ready? Come on, man. I interviewed you when you premiered Moonlight at TIFF. And that Barry Jenkins wouldn't have said what you just said. You can do a Disney movie for the check in order to work on your passion projects at a later time, but you don't have to shill like this. Bruh, what kind of logic is that? How about this? Here are a few videos from the same Barry Jenkins who premiered Moonlight, showing some of the things I was doing in my spare time at the same time I was writing Moonlight. Here we go. And he presents some stuff. Now, folks, listen, what is this? This is PR. This is genius PR, by the way, but it's PR. They don't want you to focus on the story. And whoever came up with this, kudos to them, because they need to be in politics. Let me tell you. They don't want you to focus on, and the headline should not be, it's disliked into oblivion. Disney fears another box office utter collapse. Disney depends on an economically weak China to carry the day for Mufasa. They don't want to, none of that. And also, let me say that this has some racial issues with it because of the casting. Not going to go there today, but that's also partly the reason that it cannot be criticized, and criticism cannot be allowed to percolate out into the public knowledge via the legacy media. Can't happen. So the news is the comments are turned off. That can't be the news. So how do you twist it? You twist it into being that the director is so good and so amazing that he is the person who can elevate the Lion King. But also, the Lion King has always been a communal method of empathy and grief to be shared throughout vast communities of children. And that is the play that is happening. That's how they don't have to write the headline. That's the real headline. But folks, I'm here to tell you, that Park Place, we're covering it the right way. That's the story. Dislikes, comments turned off, damage control. The PR damage control that we're seeing out of Barry Jenkins and out of Disney is, hey, Barry Jenkins is an amazing artist, and he belongs with the Lion King. And I know that you all are disliking this trailer into the pits of Hades itself. I know that this is dropping into the Shadowlands. But your fears that Barry Jenkins, as an avant-garde protege of our time, your fears that he will be subjugated into a corporate kind of malaise, you can set them aside. For he is the Lion King Messiah, here to bring Mufasa into even greater art form, not to say it was ever bad. And that's the story they want you to. It's convoluted, right? It's weird, it's strange, but that's what they want, so that you don't read headlines such as this. Let's all read it together one more time. The Walt Disney Company turns off comments for Mufasa Lion King after massive backlash. Boy, oh boy, just wait till we get to Inside Out 2 and Anxiety. That's going to go well. They better hope they don't screw up Moana. It's their biggest princess property they have. They're rushing that movie out the door. They better pray that they do not ruin that one, because Disney, despite what you have been told, is at the edge. They are at the edge. Partners, licensing partners, third parties that work with Disney are not happy about what's happening with their various franchises. It may cause them to rethink Star Wars. It may cause them to rethink Marvel, but they did not plan to have to rethink this. They didn't plan on rethinking the princesses, but they're just about there. Folks, that's what happens when ideology, partisanship, and, shall we say, the woke express comes chugging through your company, destroying everything in its path. All right, folks, that is the video for today. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that now you understand what is going on with Barry Jenkins, with the Lion King, Mufasa, and these crazy headlines out of the legacy media as they continue their antiquated attempts to control the narrative, but it does not work. Folks, like, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, it's the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. Why? Because we covet your comments, we care about what you think, and we don't attempt to control what you think. We listen to you. We're not here to manipulate you and give you fake headlines that force you to think in a certain way. No, we love what you think. Please write it down. Join a community of dialogue. Folks, the Pro Show this Tuesday is coming out, maybe at a special time. We're working on the details, but the Disney earnings call is going to be early Tuesday morning. We will have analysis starting at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on the Valiant Renegade Show, going all the way into the Pro Show, and who knows how long we'll go. It depends on what happens during that earnings call. It's going to be fascinating, and their selection of that time for their earnings call, well, that should draw some real interest as to what they're doing. Folks, wherever you are, and whatever you're doing, what you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and no matter if the trailers are bad, keep having fun.
This is Wilton the Troll reporting for That's Park Place, and I'm surrounded by loving and adoring people who are peacefully trying to make sure that poor kids aren't cold in the winter. And just behind me, you can see a totally natural bonfire for baking cookies or making marshmallows.
Yeah, so, Wilson, we really appreciate the effort and stuff, but we're looking for real and, accurate news reporting on that Park Place.
So not like most news outlets, huh?
No.